it's always enjoyable when we sit down together and visit.
Yes, it is.
Peter Vodenka is someone who's got an incredible life story. He and his family, as you know, if you've been watching over the past few weeks, as we've had these conversations, came from oppression into freedom at the very risk of your lives.
Yes.
And that's been 30 some years ago. And when you left Czechoslovakia, you had, if I'm not mistaken, 3-year-old son in your arms?
2-year-old son. Yeah.
2-year-old son, and your
4-year-old
wife was
daughter.
carrying a 4-year-old daughter through the rain and the treachery that we've talked about. Now, 30 years later, tell us what your daughter and your son are doing.
Oh, well, of course, it's 30 years later, so they are 34 and 32 years old now. And our daughter graduated with degree from graphic designer from the college, but she has the 5 children and 6 on the way.
Oh my!
So she is pretty much full-time mother. And our son, after finishing the high school, he joined United States Marines, and he was mobilized and sent over to Iraq the 1 month before the war started. They were camping in the deserts of Kuwait, about 1 mile from Iraqi border. And when the order came to march on the Baghdad, he was on very tip of Marine column, going all the way to Baghdad. Of course, you know, my wife and I, we were glued to the TV. You know, we have child in the war.
Oh, yes.
Anything can happen. You worry, but at the same time, you know, it makes us so proud because by him serving this wonderful country, it bring our life story pretty much full circle. You know, it almost seems like what we did, the defection and everything, it give it better meaning or more meaning.
Yes.
You know, and we are really proud of both of our children very much, and you know, him serving this country.
Well, your freedom, in one sense, was very much a gift.
Yes.
Yet you risked your lives and that of your family to open that gift, but now your children are productive
Yes.
Americans. And you have a construction company. Your
Yes.
wife works in the healthcare industry.
Yes.
And Peter also does a lot of motivational and inspirational speaking. You've got a lot to talk about. 30 years is a long time, and as you look back now, the day you came to America and tomorrow morning when you wake up, can you give me 1 or 2 striking differences that maybe you're concerned about?
Yes, well, the biggest striking difference, I think, is from 30 years ago, is that size of our government is growing. It's growing and growing and growing. We have new departments, we have Homeland Security, we have other places which are just being constantly implemented without us having any say about that. So the government is, of course, a lot bigger than it was 30 years ago. The prices, of course, are going up, but so do the wages and stuff. Also, what I see is lately is our government is kind of pushing this country into European style of vehicles. When I come to America, the greatest part about America was to have those big giant boats, you know, that big Buick and Fords,
Yes.
and, you know,
Yes.
Pontiacs and all those all well-known vehicles, you know, which were known and envy of the whole world. You know, we were driving the giant boats over here. Well, now we are being kind of forced and pushed into the small vehicles like they drive into Europe. You know, and it's nonsense because those vehicles are small in Europe for a reason, because there is no space. It's overpopulated. They build the stores, but they don't build parking lots because there is no space for the parking lots. Well, we still have the space over here, and we're driving far away. You know, the Europe is tiny.
That's right.
America is huge. State of Texas is the size of the half of the Europe. You know, to drive over here from Minneapolis or from Minnesota, drive over here, you know, it takes 10 hours or so. If you drive 10 hours in Europe, you are across 3 different countries. You know, so yes, there are differences, obviously.
Well, one difference is that America is better because you and your family are here,
Oh,
Peter.
thank you. Thank you.
It's a blessing to be able to visit with you and to know that you paid a price for your freedom. And most of us who were born and raised in America simply take it for granted.
Yes.
But we better wake up and smell the coffee, because this freedom that we enjoy could soon disappear, couldn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's pray together that it does not.